Hey guys, my name's Char Vega. Welcome to Blasted. A little bit about myself is that I was born in the Philippines and I migrated over to United States at age 7, around 7 or 8. My memories of the Philippines is probably so blur because it was when I was like very young, 7. So I probably remember like landmarks of where things are and like my grandparents and stuff, but like main memories, no. Like it's very more in the United States. But it's beautiful out there. You should visit. I do speak Tagalog, but not as fluent. I understand it. So if someone was to talk shit, like I could definitely understand them. My first language is Tagalog. So like I grew up with that. I just don't have certain words that I can fully say anymore because my husband is like, he speaks English. So everybody speaks English here. So I don't really speak it as much. So my parents are full Filipino, both born and raised over there. They migrated over here and started, so like on the low tier of like the totem pole, and now they're like up here. It's true what they say, like you have to start from the bottom to be on the top. But like I'm very proud of my parents of their lack of like English and knowledge of like the slang terms over here is like different from the English that was taught to them in the Philippines. But like they trip up sometimes and they catch on, but I'm so proud of the way they adapted to how to live here and how to grind over here. Like my mom's a hustler. She knows to grind anywhere, but it's different over here. The struggles over here as an immigrant, and like, especially like, being the boss over there to coming over here as like just a coffee maker, like it sucks, but I'm proud of it. Yeah. Starting all over. But no, yeah, they are very comfortable where they're at right now. Like they own a house, they have us, they have me, like, so they have like 4 beautiful grandchildren now. So yeah. When I was a student in high school, I think I focused more on having fun. Hey, and I watched your video and interview with Alex, and he said he was a stoner, and I was a stoner too, and I was like, okay, let me see the questions that's being asked. I was like, okay, I was a stoner too. Should I mention that? But yeah, when I was in high school, definitely stoner. I was focused on making memories with my friends. Shout out besties, Raina and Elisa over there. But I was, I cared about studies and all of that, but I feel like I wanted to make memories with my friends. I wanted to make that high school like memory count. I was, yes, getting in trouble, smoking pot, doing graffiti, and like, but I graduated. And here we are. I went to Granada Charter High, Granada Hills, GH. So I came across graffiti when I was 14, 15. I mean, you've always seen it, in like buses, wherever you go, there's graffiti in LA. So when I moved from LA to here in the Valley, the 818, I was culture shocked, I guess, because it's different. Like I never really heard about the Valley, but I love the Valley. The 818 is my home. So LA to 818 different, right? There, you've seen the graffiti there is different. It's more rugged and raw, but here it's more like crew and territorial and stuff like that. So when I was introduced to it, it was my homie Doughboy. He was like doodling like just sketching on a little piece of paper. And I was like, what are you doing? What's that? And he was like, oh, it's my name. I was like, Doughboy? What the fuck? Like, I was like, you in a gang, homie? Like, what's going on? And he was like, no, I just like to draw my name repeatedly and like put it in maybe a little bit in the street. I was like, oh, for sure. That's dope. So you're talking about tagging. And then I was like, hey man, maybe you should like, do it like this, like that. And I was like, what? Like, am I just like giving him like, am I putting him on game on like how to do certain things? But yeah, like I was like, okay, I'm fascinated by this. Now what? And then like I did go out one night with him and I was just watching him catch tags. And I was like, oh, I like that. That's cool. Like, I'm like, let's go. Let's get back in the car. Let's go to another spot. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, all right. But I wasn't catching any tags. I was just in it for the drive, And I was like, I like this. And then I started doing it. And like, other homies were like doing it. So I was just like, man, I could do it too. It was always like, if the homies can do it, I can do it too. And like, it came from like tattooing. Now I'm like, I could do it too, like it grew on me like that. My style back in high school when I was doing graffiti was probably like more like, man, it was so different. 2010. Okay. I was first dressing like, Chola Dickies, the fucking, the thing. I don't know. And I would like cuff my pants with like a fucking rubber band. Remember that? Stuff my chucks. Yeah, good times. And like, it was just messy. Damn. And then I became like in ninth grade, like I think I like became like this like edgy looking teen. Like I had snake bites. Yeah, I did. I had snake bites. And yeah, I started like looking more edgier and then I started wearing, Granada gave me this fucking like, influence where I started wearing like Abercrombie and Fitch. Yeah. And then I looked edgy, like, come on, bro. Like, but yeah, my style was it was different. So my experience with pretty much creating art would probably be like, check this, in like, I want to say probably middle school. Since I did graffiti, it wouldn't be the first time like that I composed something or created something, because I was drawing at the age like probably 7 or 8, where I don't know, I just started drawing because we were watching Dragon Ball Z when we were young with my older brother, and like he influenced me to watch those shows, and so I was tracing them, I was drawing them, like Goku's hair. It was pretty fucking dope, like it had staggers and edges. That was dope to me. So I drew them. Little Yu-Gi-Oh cards, those are dope. So I would trace over the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and like little Street Fighter characters, like those are dope. I would draw them out and trace over them. And that's how I started like composing things and making art, I guess. But I've always drawn and painted, and I guess another outlet for me when I was like a teenager was graffiti. And that was dope for me because it was more action and it was more thrill, and I was putting my name out there and people knew my name. Right? Sick, right? The concept of that is like all ego. Sorry, man.
You want to tell the name that you were writing?
Yeah. No, I can definitely fucking tell them my writing name. I wrote Puny. My fucking tattoo name. But yeah, it's just, yeah, I wrote Puny. I was called Puny because I was small. I was small out of like every one of the homies, so it was fitting. Yeah. Once after high school was done, I immediately wanted to go to college. UC Pierce. No, Pierce College was amazing. I met my husband there. I started doing more like digital art in college, graphic design most likely, and like animation classes. That was cool. I did, however, had to drop out because I got pregnant, and that was rough because when I was pregnant, I had to go to different multiple other colleges just so like they don't know who I was, you know. And I would like change my outfits, and I'm like, fuck, like, and I just also like to catch up on credits. Like I had to go to different schools because Pierce was very full at the time, so I'd have to go to Mission. I did go to COC. I did do, yeah, I would go and travel, and like as a pregnant 20-year-old, that was rough. But when I dropped out, and when I gave birth, I went right back up to vocational studies for medical billing and coding, which turned out that Everest got sued for not like coming through with their promises, and like now my certification is bullshit now. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Like I went to school for nothing.
I wonder if you get your money back.
I did. I got my money back. Yeah, I did. So I came across tattooing by, I mean, it's always been around. So when I was younger, this dude, we're not going to mention his name because off the record, right? So he was tattooing everyone pretty much in high school. So bad. But I met him. He was dope. He was cool. And like, I was like, I want to do this. And also like, some of my homies were already tattooing like at such a young age. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, you know, you see them, but like, you don't wonder that you want to do these things. What really got me was this girl one time. She like came up to me and she was like, oh, you should start doing tattoos. And I was like, should I really? Like, I don't even know what that's like. So she gave me her leg and I tattooed her. I tattooed the outline of like a marijuana leaf. And it was cool, but like I loved it. I think what I loved the most was like the pressure of like having to like have ink and skin contact. I think that's what we crave as tattoo artists. It's like that contact that it's stuck, it's there forever, you know? That was sick. Before doing that tattoo, I had zero knowledge of like doing what the fuck I was doing. All I did was like, she was like, okay, just trace. I was like, what? She knew like, you know, cleanliness wise and stuff. And I mean, it was all common sense to me too. Like wear gloves, do this, do that. Okay, cool. Everything's sanitized, but I don't know what the fuck to do with the skin. Like, do I stretch? I mean, I only did what was natural. Like just one hand over, trace the fucking lines. And I had zero knowledge. I was just like, maybe I watched like, you know, the homies tattooed before, but like you don't know what they're doing. Like you don't know what you're really needing, what information you want to, you know, need to tattoo. Like you don't know what you're even looking for when you're watching people get tatted, you know? So I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to do what looks like my homies have been doing like this. And I did a pretty cool tattoo. Like it's stuck. It's probably still there. I don't know. Oh, it was so the type of machine that I did use the first time was a coil. It was for sure a coil. It was hers. It wasn't mine. I learned how to build a coil because of her. But also just like, you know, asking around, like asking the homies that work at shops and all that. And like, I guess what YouTube is there too, but I never really resourced to YouTube because like it wasn't popping back then. It was not as now. But yeah, like, yeah, coil. So I started taking tattoos serious when I was like, I think 10th tattooing when I didn't give up. Fuck. I think like I might have almost given up in the beginning because I was like, fuck, this is hard. Like, you know, how do we pack color? How do we even like know how to please somebody that's a client? Like I know this person, it's like, you know, my cousin, or let's just say my cousin, right? Like I could never disappoint her. But then like, what if it's a client future? Like I was thinking of more of the future. Like what if she doesn't like this? Like, you know, I was like, how am I going to please that person? So it's more like, I guess it stuck to me and it stood out to me and I really wanted to do it was when I knew that it was going to be hard and I wanted to challenge myself. I think that's when I was like, let's do this shit. Let's climb this fucking mountain, you know? But yeah, no, I always wanted to quit like 10 times after that. I was like, yeah, that was cool. Stupid realization, but let's fucking quit now. Fuck this. But no, I didn't quit. I'm still here, obviously. So when I started taking it serious, I sourced out and reached out to my homies that did work in shops. I was like, hey man, what's the rules on this and that? What's this? What's that? How do you use what? Or like, what's legal and what's not legal? Or what's the, you know, like asking around, like, because I know people in the industry. I knew people in the industry. So I was like, let me just ask and see what information I can get. Yeah, pretty much like they helped me out with a lot of things. And it's just, man, it's the clientele that they couldn't help me with, of course. I had to like find those people out myself, like by word of mouth. I mean, it worked out good. It worked out good for me. Yeah. As I was going, I think like I hit like one good friend group, probably like 20 of them, right? And that friend group had like multiple friend groups. It was fucking insane. It was like, oh, so-and-so knows like 10 more people in that friend group. And so-and-so knew like 10 more people in that. That was a pretty like cool find that I found that like group of people. They're still my clients. But like, you know, that's how it started. Like, oh, she's doing it, you know, this and that. She's good, you know, like go to her. And I love that referrals come from good sources because that's how you know they're not weird or shady or like gonna do me dirty either. You know, like as a tattoo artist, I feel like, you know, we need to be safe too. Like you can't just like, what if it was a sketchy person like that person just like brought up and like tried to run away with a tattoo? Like, come on. So when I started, I was doing more like illustrative pieces, like mountains that are more illustrations, skulls. Also, like I want to say I got into like a good amount of traditional tattoos, and I did some color in the beginning. Yeah, that was a little hard because learning color by yourself is just not easy. I really had to get pointers from other people for that to work out. What else? Like I was doing like fine line dainty stuff too. And that's hard to like do, you know? Like I had to really like watch other people for that. Like other artists to pull that off. That was harder. But I was doing a lot more illustrative pieces. Like I wasn't really into like the realism black and gray, but I was mainly like doing line work, names. Oh my god, I was doing names. I was doing covering up names. Like, oh yeah, we broke up. Like, can you cover that up? Yeah, very simple stuff. Yeah, names, date of births. Oh my god, I hit like a pinnacle of like Facebook moms in their groups that I was tattooing their sons and like their children's names and date of births. And like, I was like, damn, I hit a good, like, that was a good one too. Like a little group of moms that like, you know, so-and-so is doing tattoos, like, you know, but yeah, I had like, that was a good find. Like Facebook moms, shout out Facebook fucking moms. But yeah, like that was, the beginning was like all line work and like making sure my line work was steady, and like the way to do that was like names and letters and all that stuff, you know, dates. Like that was cool. Oh my god, my first machine, I want to say it was a bootleg swap meet version of, like, I don't even know the name of the coil. They said it was like a bootleg version of that. And I was like, all right, I'll take it. Like, if it works the same, it looks the same, like, you know, I'll take it. And the swap meet guy just showed me what's up and was like, okay, well, you're going to want this knockoff. It's a little bit more, but it's a, and I was like, all right. Excuse me. But it was a coil for sure. My first machine that I had used was from swap meet. Love the Parthenia swap meet. And it was a coil. And then I slowly transitioned into like a rotary, not that long. Well, I don't say not that long ago, but yeah, the nice transition from like coil to rotary was pretty good because it was like a lighter machine. I wish I like remember the name of that. Sorry. I know, fuck. And I'm going to text you about it and be like, I remember the name. But it was bootleg. It wasn't even real. So I started thinking I needed to work at a shop when I was like, okay, I'm not hitting any clients. I don't have any clientele. I need to get my name out there. So I went to go ask my friend Silos from Wildlife. And when I started, I couldn't really make the drive out there. So it was hard for me to really commit to be at a shop and be like, hey, I'm going to be here. I'm going to work here, whatever. And when I knew it wasn't going to work out, like, because I had a full-time job, I was like, I'm sorry, dude, I can't do this. Like, it's a long drive. And then I have a full-time job. I can't go and, like, commit to this. I had to go back tattooing from home. But then, like, when I went back to tattooing with him at Wildlife at his shop, I fully committed. I was like, I'm going to quit my day job, my 8-hour fucking full-time job, and do this. So I did. And then, like, it benefited me. I already had clientele by the time I came back to him. So it was just an adjustment of like letting go and being fully independent from like no 401k, no like, medical benefits. Oh my goodness, the medical benefits. That was so nice. Now I have to pay for it myself. But yeah, like just just jumping and like flying and being on your own as a tattoo artist was crazy. Like, it was a crazy transition. When I started, I just started tattooing right away. I did like pretty much like teach myself, but it was more like a community of artists that I knew that were credible, that I could have as a confidant and be like, hey, yo, which needles are you using? Which ones are like good to use? Or like, how do you use this like this shading like technique? Or how do you dilute shit? Like, like things like that. Like, what ink? Like, what? Like, how do we know what's what? And like that's how I really like did my startup, like teaching myself and like having someone like guide me, I guess. I was tattooing at Wildlife, I think about a year, just a year. Then I opened up my own shop. Opening my own shop was a wild journey because, first of all, opening up your own business is like, starting your own business is scary. So my two partners hit me up saying like, hey, where are you working at now? Or like, do you want to work with us? And I was like, no, I actually have a shop that I'm working at now. It's Wildlife. I loved the family out there, so I couldn't leave. I was like, unless it's that all-female tattoo shop talk, then, we could chop it up. And they literally sent me an invite to go to dinner with them that same night and was like, all right, let's chop it up. Let's talk about this all-female thing that you're talking about. What about it? And I was like, okay, it's my lifelong dream, what's going on? And they were like, okay, we're going to be your partners. Let's do this. And we're going to help you all like the way throughout. So that's how it really started. It was like them like saying, are you down? And I was like, kinda. Are you down? Like, they're like, yeah, I'm down. I was like, okay, we're down. And like, yeah, like it really just started with like, let's have dinner. Let's talk about it. And that's how we put this in fruition. So, me wanting to open an all female shop, it came across as a dream. It was like a vision at first. I was like, oh, like I really had this dream that I was working with like an all female situation. It wasn't even my shop, this dream, you know? Like I just knew that I was going to be around a lot of cool, badass, like influential women that I was kind of low key working towards that a little bit. Like I think in like, you know, all the places or like shops that I visited, I was like looking out for a female like tattoo. I'm like, where's your female tattoo artist? Like, do you have a female piercer? Like whoever, you know. I wanted to see like who is gonna be around in this industry that I'm gonna be cool with. Like, oh, like who's that? Who's that? Who's your female tattoo artist? Like, you know, because usually like they don't even introduce them as like, hey, this is Rihanna, you know, this she's our badass tattoo, you know, artist. No, it's like, oh, this is our female artist in this shop. It's like a fucking circus show. So it's like when I introduce these girls to this, you know, shop, they're gonna be known as this is Rihanna. She's this badass tattoo artist. This Patricia. This, you know, this is Gabby. This is, you know. So I wanted it more as you guys are gonna be known for who you are and not the female tattoo artist in the shop, you know. There's many of those. I was looking out for those. It's like, what the hell? But when I had the vision, I was like it was really more for like having an empowering environment for me, myself, and like the future artists that I was going to work with. When I envisioned it, it was going to be like, we're all going to be like friends. We're all going to like just learn from each other. We're all going to be like badass, and we're all going to like, you know, successfully like continue to really influence other females to be like, oh shit, they're not catty, they're not bitchy or whatever, you know, like they get along as all females should. We can do this, you know. Like I was like, yeah, it could happen. And I've worked at like restaurant jobs working with all female. I was like, I could do it. I could do it. I could do this. I could do this. And like the office that I was working at, all female. When I was working with them, like any age, all ages, all female. So I think in my defense, it's been getting manifested by the environment I was working at. I was like, I know how to handle women. I know how to be around women. Let's make this shit happen. So I was like, Jose, Lambert, let's go. Let's fucking make this shit happen. Like I've been molded for this. Like I was like, let's do this, you know? I was like, I've been working with women my whole entire life. What the fuck? Like, come on, we could do this. I opened the first all-female tattoo shop in the Valley. That experience for me is very overwhelming, knowing that we did this and we're still doing this. And it's a statement, you know, like, yo, I could do this too. I'm an immigrant coming from the fucking Philippines, third world country. I could do this shit, you know, like, we could do it too. I think it's more of like the drive of like how I tell the other girls at the shop, like, look, I can do this with 3 fucking kids, 0 time. I could fucking do this. You can too, you know, like anybody that, you don't even have to have kids. Like, you know, like just like in general, like I think, I don't want to say just anyone can do it. I think the right somebody could do it, but it's just, do you have what it takes or not? You know, like it's very overwhelming. Some people are out for us, you know, like good or bad. Fuck, like there's fucking haters out there. You know, we're trying to just fucking put out good content, good vibes, good tattoos, like, and like we're getting like shit handed to us where it's like, oh, they're whack, oh, they're like they're being catty, they're not real, they're fake. Like how do you know that? How do you really know that? Like, have you met us? Have you been to the shop? Like, unless you have, then you can fucking tell us in our faces, you know? But honestly, opening this amazing environment changed my life, changed the girls' life that work here. It's a good like environment for like females to come and like don't feel comfortable in other tattoo shops because of the male, because it's a heavily male industry. So for them having a nice safe space, oh, we're also queer friendly, by the way. So everybody and all, you know, gender, shape, or form, they come here and feel more safe. And I get that because I'm not gonna want to like get tatted under here at like, and everyone staring at me like, you know. So for here, it's like I'm gonna let my titties out. I don't give a fuck, you know. It's a nice like ensuring vibe that we're not like creeps and fucking weirdos. That's just gonna be like, oh, oops, accidentally touch your thigh. Like, you know, I don't give a shit. I have kids. I have fucking husband. Like, I'm not here for that. And like, it does suck that there are tattoo shops, credible tattoo shops that, you know, do bad things like that. But I think like being the first all female tattoo shop that has landed in the 818, like, we're making the 818 have a historical moment where it's like, oh shit, like they're gonna thrive. They're like, you know, all female in there. They're all badass. Like, you know, it's a calming space. It's a welcoming environment. Let's go there, you know. And it's in the 818. Come on, dude. Like, so the challenges that I had opening this shop was mainly like, yeah, I was intimidated by like MD. Like, dude, it's Mike DeVries. He's down the street. But during the pandemic, oh, and also One Truth, like they're like an intimidating shop, you know, like well-known guys are there. But like around here in Northridge, there's not. I don't think I can really even think of any other ones besides. There's also Cat House. I forgot. Oh, I'm sorry. Cat House tattoos. But I never like they were welcoming of anything. Like Mike DeVries even came here and like asked for like, you know, for something. I don't know. He asked for something, but he came down and visited. I was like, oh my God, I'm shitting my pants. Mike DeVries is here. I froze. I was like, hi, hello. Like I didn't even say any words. I don't think. Yeah, I froze. But another gentleman came to like drop off a painting from One Truth, and he was like, hi neighbors. And I was like, oh, that's fucking sick. They're so sweet. You know, like they're very welcoming. It wasn't like intimidating. We're a family in this community, I feel like. So we do refer people out to like One Truth. Like, hey, we can't do it right here. Go to One Truth. Or like, I mean, we have brother shops. We have House of Needles, Gusto Tattoos, and, you know, our sister shop, West Hills, in Queens of West Hills. So I feel like they're just another brother shop to us, an outlet to like, hey, here's a client, please, you know, take them because we can't. But I trust them enough to just be like taking them. So yeah, there's a bunch of shops around here that was very welcoming, you know, like Custom, Wildlife. They're all very welcoming. Yeah, it wasn't really hard. Like it was the intimidation part was, I was like, oh shit, it was my own, you know, mental, like that I was intimidated by. It wasn't even like they gave me shit for opening a fucking shop. Like, no, like they were so welcoming, and I was like, I fucking love that. So I love Northridge. I was like, fuck, I'll be. Ooh, I love my machines. Let's bring them out. So the type of machine that I'm currently using is the Cheyenne. Ta-da. Okay, so I have. This one's the one that I'm currently using. It's the Sol Nova Unlimited 4.0. It's the newest Cheyenne that they have, I guess. But it's the pen one. It's cool. I love it so far because it's so easy to clean and break down and like set up. I think for me, it's more for like just... I don't know. I guess it's for just the comfort and easy like breakdown and like the process of like just having it so easy. So let me show this. Okay, this is the Tupac wand. from Bishop. Sorry. Okay, whatever. It's stuck now. Oh, that's the camera. So, yeah, this is a Tupac. Yes, Tupac. Yes. Oh, it's like locked it. But Tupac, Bishop made like a rendition just so like for Tupac, I guess, because he's the best rapper alive. Or not alive. Oh, I still think he's alive. So I'm really a Bishop girl. I like Bishop. Please sponsor me, Bishop. I have 3 Bishop machines. My favorite one is the shader. So soft. It's a 3.5 stroke. It just hits the black and gray so light and fluffy and feathery. But this one is the shader. Sorry, the Packer. I love this one too. The convenience of, again, it's for me the convenience of like breaking down and setting up. It's one of the shits. Yeah, buy some. You're welcome, Bishop. But yeah, like I have the liner. I have a trio liner, which is the Tupac one, shader and Packer, and then the Sol Nova Cheyenne. I feel like a trader by going to Cheyenne, but it's the convenience, you know. Fuck. You're welcome. Here you go. So in the industry, people are like really fucked up and mean, making fun of these, calling them dildos. So fucked up, but they do the job. You know, they're so light on your arm, you don't get arthritis. And like, there are people who are loyal to the coil. Like, I still have a coil. I still have my FK iron. So like, I could still use it one of these days, but it's just the convenience. I love them for the convenience, and they do its job. Just like, you know, as much as I want to say as much as a coil, but not all the way like a coil. It hits it just right. So I want to say cartridges are dope, not safe for the environment at all. And I'm very environment friendly, eco-friendly. But the cartridges that I'm using is, I like to change it up to like Cheyenne's or Bishop. But right now, I'm really liking T-Pros. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're so good. They're just, I don't know. I don't want to say they're the best right now, but they're just so good. They're doing the job like how they need to be. They're so tight. They're just all, because needles in a needle is clumped together like this, but they're just tight. They're like tighter. I don't know. I think like every tattoo artist doing fine line loves that shit. So right now, T-Pros and Cheyenne's, number 1. Yeah, those are the cartridges that I use. Okay, let's talk about ink. Okay, Mr. Sleeps, you're going to have to promote and just, you know, I use Big Sleeps. I love Big Sleeps. I think, honestly, as far as black, he just does it, man. It just hits the spot. I like using his black ink. I like using Star Bright White. Yes, I'll change it up to dynamic sometimes because dynamic is vegan and like people ask about that. And it's a big question for some vegans. So I use dynamic sometimes, the triple black. My gray wash set is from Empire. I don't know if they're going to sponsor me, but it's a long shot. Hey. Empire, really cool. I really like their gray wash series, but yeah, I can't change it up to this. This is like my favorite one. So the tattoos heal very well with the this black. I want to say there's another black that Big Sleep has that I'm okay with. I'm not a big fan, but with that specific one, it's my favorite. Like the black heals very dark, and I want to say like it just does its job. It's not like too heavy on like packing either. I don't know. I can't describe it for like people who don't tattoo, but like the way it heals is just nicer to look at. I mean, even with dynamic too, dynamic it's about the same. It's just I guess the way application is. But if you just hit it right there, like your tattoos will heal. Like, I mean, even if you put lotion on, like it'll just be better for you, you know? Tattooing is tattooing an expensive job? I've never been asked that question. Yes, because of our supplies and stuff. The needles alone are like fucking $40 for a pack of, one time used cartridges. One time, and it's like $45 for I think 20 or 20, yeah. What else? Having to use ink. That's expensive. Ink alone is expensive. Yeah, it's a big bottle, and yes, we're only using a drop, but still, that shit's expensive. Marketing, that shit's expensive, right? Like IG ads, like ads outside of IG, like real time, like flyers and whatever. It's just expensive. It gets pretty pricey because, like, what kind of job really like does this and you have to literally buy each and everything, like if you're working in an office, like you just buy the computer one time and you use that same fucking computer. We don't have a computer. So I base my prices with also like sizing and the amount of time I'm going to take with it. Also, like, with my experience, like however like much I've been tattooing, how many years. But I definitely try to keep it aligned with like the other girls in other shops, just so I'm not like fucking undercharging myself or overcharging too. I gotta keep it fair. But yeah, size wise, how intricate it's gonna be and how much time I'm gonna take on it. I'm not gonna fucking charge you $200 for an 8-hour tattoo. That's kind of fucking, no. It's a waste of my time, your time as well. I'm sure, like, damn, it took you 8 fucking hours, and come on, like, what's going on? But like, yeah, I just wouldn't want to be here at 8 hours either and just get $200. Like I want to make sure it's worth my time, and feeds. I want to be fed. I want to be fed, not for $200 though. But damn, yeah, I base it off of that. Okay, so I have a few people in mind that I want to tattoo me. I would love for Big Sleeps to tattoo me, in his own little lettering style. I don't have much color, but I would love Nico Hurtado to like tattoo me. That'd be a really good like. But damn, man, like, I don't know, like color, I don't know. I'm just scared. I would love Nico to tattoo me. I would love Big Sleeps to tattoo me. I'm also like a really big fan of Cam's work. He was an ink master. I don't even know where he's at, like in what state he's at, but I like his black and gray. His black and gray is pretty solid. I really like Angel too. Angel Rose. She was also an ink master. She's sick as fuck. I like her illustrative with the realistic designs. I also would love to get tatted by there's so many people. Like I just can't even think of all of them right now on the top of my head. Yeah, no. I can't think of I love American traditional too on my body. I have some, and because it's so simple, it's so clean cut, like I love them, but I just like can't think of anybody right now. Like it's so hard. There's so many. There's just so many good artists out there. Like I don't even want to name drop either. Like I feel like such a fucking fake. Like what is she name dropping? Okay, what are my future goals for life? For tattooing? But my future goals for, as a tattoo artist would probably just be like travel more. I wanna travel more, see all the other styles out in other cities, states, country, whatever. Meet other artists that are fucking great, amazing at what they do, and like share the same fucking values and morals that I do. I also wanna expand more in different countries, hopefully. That would be really cool. Open more Queens of Needles. Can you imagine Queens of Needles, Puerto Rico, baby? Yeah, fucking, yeah. People can get in contact with me through my Instagram mostly. Phone number. I feel like
What's your Instagram?
my Instagram is at punyrose_tattoos. But yeah, you can text. My phone number is literally out everywhere. Like, I'm surprised. Like, I don't know. I hope we don't get hacked out here. Usually 2 to 3 months out. That's when I schedule. But like, I've been really like taking my time and just like scheduling people that are return clients because I want to finish any existing, projects that I've been doing. Like I'll take like one new client here and there, just so that I can still focus on my return clients. But yeah, 2 to 3 months out. So before a client gets in contact with me, I'd like to know if they're above, the age of 18 first. Cause that's fucked up if they don't do that. Some people do that. And I like see them like slip through the cracks. I'm like, hey, so where's your ID? Why don't you oh, haha. Yeah, you fucked up, buddy. But like, I would like to know, like, how they know of me. That's like so important to me. Is like, how do you have you heard of me? Like, oh, so and so referred me, whatever. But I love that question because like a lot of people is referred by another person who I'm currently tattooing or have tattooed in the past, and they're like my super fucking loyal clients that I love so much. But yeah, like just probably that, like who show, who sent you here. But like, I mean, I don't really care for your skin type. Like if they have anything like, issues or whatever, like maybe their allergies too. I need to know their fucking allergies because people be allergic to like latex. And like, I don't know, like, yeah, but anything too crazy to know about somebody to tattoo them. But like when I'm tattooing someone, like just their vibes, like, So during my journey with tattooing, opening up a business, opening up a shop, I want to thank all my clients that have supported me. I want to thank my family that supported me. I want to thank my husband the most. Fuck. Like, I was a headache, having to open up a shop and stressing and all that. I want to thank everyone that's really been been on my side and like helping me like mentally and like financially. Of course, my fucking partners, Lambert and Jose. The girls have been fucking so like great. I want to thank them, like the girls have been super supportive when I'm here at the shop and they're like, hey, you need a break. Hey, you need to cool off, or like you need to maybe take a day off. Like, yeah. We're done?
Yeah, we're done.
That's a wrap. Thank you.